I'm not happy about it, but I think it was the right thing to do. Good afternoon. I'm Mark. Welcome back to the farm. First of all, yes, got the old hat on. It's no reflection on the new hat at all. It's just I'm mowing in the southeast corner of the property, and the big hat doesn't let me put on earphones, so I got to wear the baseball cap again. Meanwhile, steers are out here doing their job. They're eating as much as they can, as fast as they can. It's just not fast enough, which is why I'm out there mowing, because I can't rotate them through enough where they're eating everything down. It's a good problem to have. It's way better than the winter months where there's just not enough forage for them and I got to feed them those big rolls of hay. Yeah, so the mower, here's the rub. So I'm doing my thing. I'm riding them up there, having a good time, listening to a podcast, all is well. And the guard from inside starts banging around. I hear it hitting the blade. Got to stop. Metal on metal's a bad sound for anything. So I come back. It's almost completely ripped off. So now it is completely ripped off. I'll put that over there. But I've got something else I want to address while I'm here. This is an old deck. All right, it's been going for a while. And I got a big old crack right there, back where the tires are, well, back where this rear tire is, where it mounts. And then I got a smaller crack up here in the front. So I'm not going to try and put that guard back on because I'm not even sure where to start, because it clearly broke off twice and I don't have all the metal. So I'll probably find that when I get back out there mowing. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the welder and I am just going to start pouring weld into that crack and see if I can close that up and just kind of bring stuff together there. I'm not going to run it so hard that I'm going to melt the steel of the deck. I don't foresee that happening, but I am going to try and give myself a shot to close that up and just see if I can do that. Well, there it is. That is the definition of ugly. But hopefully it's the definition of effective, because I don't actually care how it looks. I just want to seal that crack and keep it from blowing debris out there and hitting me in the face while I'm mowing. So not textbook, but I think the textbook is do what works. So I had a bunch of junk sticking off there. I took my reciprocating saw, put a metal blade on there, went across, bent the blade, thought to myself, that's about the right thickness. And so I used the blade that I damaged to actually cover the hole, and then I welded it into place. I think that's going to do it. Yeah, all I need to do is get another 1,000 hours or so welding, and I think I'll start to get a handle on it. There's the after piece of my saw blade. See, it's about the right length, or right thickness. I think it'll work. Took it out, gave it a run. Seems to be holding. Ugly, but doing a job. Of course, the flip side is there's absolutely nothing about what I did there that impacts the operations of the mower itself or the blade, the mower deck. So I guess how would I know if it's doing its job? As far as I can tell, it's still there, and I declare victory. All right, it's evening time, as you can tell. It's not quite time to merge the flocks, but we got a couple of hens from the new group that just like to escape a lot. And so I sort of escorted them. They sort of did it on their own, but they went inside the chicken tractor. So I closed them in, and we're just going to put leg bands on these girls. And they're going to get numbers 61 and 62, which is just how the bands work out in this package. They're bright green bands, so like this, and they got little numbers on them. And so we're going to go with 61, 62, 63.
I have 63 and 64 in my pocket.
Okay, cool. And so we're just, it's super simple. Yeah, no, girl. It's okay. So I'll take 61. We're going to do it on the right leg. And it just goes in, and this slides in like that. So, what's okay, girlie? There. There it is. And you're all done. She's trying to jump out, but once I set her over the fence, she's good to go.
Good girl.
She's like, gone. And that's how we do it. So we've got a couple more. They've kind of all gone to bed. Once they get in there and start resting up, we don't want to do it. But we're going to have to come catch them all one at a time and put the bands on their legs. So that'll be another day.
Yes, another day.
But for now, they're all going in for a little snoozy time. So, but they're getting water first because they've been outside the pen where there's no water. Yeah. Let these girls out this morning in Sauron. And they have all run off. And nobody cares about the dishes of feed. Chicken's gonna chicken. At least they chicken some eggs. That's a bonus. Not a hen who's not doing good. Yeah. Right in the sun. So yesterday morning when I came out, she was out. So that means that she had been outside the fence line all night. And when I found her, she was underneath the coop, just laying there. So I did my normal chores, did the feed and everything, and she got up and moved around and had some food and water. Last night when I checked, she was inside laying on the floor towards the back of the coop, which is, if we'll remember, that's what Big Red was doing. And looking at her, she's got no energy. Her legs are not really, I mean, her claws kind of open and close like this when I pick her up, but there's not a lot of responsiveness there. And she's already starting to get gray in the muzzle, in her face. So I think whatever it was that he had, she has, which means that it's not going to end well for her. So I've got her just out here in the shade in the grass. I got a little feed in front of her, but I'm going to give it maybe a day or two tops. But last time I went for a month or more trying to nurse Big Red back to health, and it never happened. And I'm just not going to invest that kind of time again. So that's disappointing. Hopefully she recovers here in the next day or two, but I suspect she's not. Well, we talked about it and made the decision to call that hen early because we were thinking about it. All these hens are Rhode Island Reds, and Big Red was a Rhode Island Red, even though he was, raised in there with cinnamon queens. So we just decided that if this was something that happens with Rhode Island Reds, I don't know what it is, so I'm a little afraid that maybe it was contagious if it was viral, and we didn't want to risk the rest of the flock. And so we called her out. And I think it was the right thing to do. It wasn't easy. Obviously, the first couple times I had a sick hen or a sick rooster, that was a long decision chain. And I tried really hard to do a full recovery for those birds, and it didn't work. And I'll tell you what, the effort was not worth the return. And just seeing her, my gut just said this was not going to go well, and that I just needed to make the call, and so I did. So I called her. I got the burn barrel going and got that heated up. I'm not happy about it, but I think it was the right thing to do. And so now we're down to 19 Rhode Island Reds, and we'll work on getting them integrated with the rest of the big flock. Once I get everybody's bracelets on, their leg bands, and get an evening where it's not raining. We've had nothing but rain consistently every night, and that's this time of year in Florida. that's what happens. But I don't want to have a night of rain when I'm trying to transload the hens from one coop to another, because I just think it's going to add to an already chaotic, potentially chaotic situation. So keep our fingers crossed for a clear evening one of these nights, or at least a forecast for a clear evening. And then we'll see about getting things set to do a transload. So that's where we are right now. Look at this section over here. I just moved the steers to it this morning. It's only the second time I've had it on here. I just added it to the rotation last time because I was like, why not? It never occurred to me before because the grass wasn't good. Grass was very thin, not good. And I put the steers on here last time, not for very long, like for a day. And I don't know if you could tell, but I think it likes having cows. And they like it a lot now too, because they are just chowing down. That's cool, man. What a change. Got tired of digging a hole every time I moved my poly tape. I knew I'd get there. Sorry, it's the end of the day. And like that's actually my reason. Getting old. So I got tired of digging a post hole every time to move the post where I hold it. So I changed up my strategy. And I made this. Actually, I didn't make it. I just added the feet to it. This was the post, and rather than putting it in the ground, I am now just setting it down. I can pick it up and move it without having to dig holes and stuff. Way better solution till these knuckleheads start playing with it. What are you doing? What are you doing? How's this water? Huh? You guys been in here? And there it is. Connected to the poly tape, power cord, ground, steer, water, mineral lick, energizer, and the old weatherproofing. Boom. Job well done. That's nice and stable. Got a good wide base. And it should be just out of reach for those guys too. Look at these chickens. They keep getting out and then they want to go play with the cows. Anyway, good wide base. And they can't reach that. It's out of range unless they get super dedicated, which they might, but they'll get zapped on the way. All right. Hodgepodge of stuff. That's about it for here. We'll talk to you guys later.